Travel Saturday with Sarah and Ed with Destination Cleveland, Ohio. World-class experiences without the world-class ego. Unapologetic, unstoppable, unafraid. With direct flights from Dublin to Cleveland. Learn more at thisiscleveland.com.
Sarah Slattery, you're flying solo today. Hello, how are you?
Hiya, Trina. Great.
No Ed Finn with you today. We're going to take a look at Halloween breaks. It's just around the corner. And I love that you've prepared breaks that aren't just for families, because a lot of people get this week, they get the midterm off, don't they? If they're working as SNAs, or they could be doing school transport, or they could be teachers, whatever.
That's exactly right, because you tend to focus on families and midterm breaks, and then there's lots of people going, they want to go places where there's no kids.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a bit of both.
Okay, so first off, where are we looking at?
Well, there's loads of different festivals on, so I thought it was worth mentioning a few of them. Puka is probably the biggest festival and probably the most well known over the last couple of years. It was developed by Fáilte Ireland in partnership with Meath County Council, because Meath is actually the birthplace of Halloween, would you believe? So it's a really big festival. There's lots of bands playing. There's like comedians, Deirdre O'Kane is there, the Dirtbirds, you've got, I think even Gavin James. There's loads of different acts on. Now, they would obviously, you'd have to buy tickets for those, but there's also loads of free events as well. So on Halloween night, there's a big lighting of the Samhain fire. Then there's live music afterwards. That will obviously be a free event. Then there's processions on with street performers and traditional music then kind of throughout the weekend. It starts at Halloween, starts on the 31st of October, and it runs to the 3rd of November. So there's lots of free events and ticketed events, and you can get it all on pukafestival.com. Mm-hmm. Like lots of places around, like Trim, Athboy, all those, areas have things going on. Now, I did find nice cottages there. They look really good, actually. I'm actually going to have a look at them. They're called the Decoy Country Cottages, and they're 4-star, and they've like 2, 3, 4-bedroom cottages and houses. So if you wanted to kind of get a couple of friends together, or a family wanted to go, you could book 2 nights there. 2-bedroom cottage for 2 nights would be $660, but you can do houses for 5 and 6. So if you want to kind of get involved in the festival and really kind of get in the whole Halloween spirit, I thought that might be a good one.
Okay, yeah, and it's kind of affordable when you split it up if there's a gang going, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously cheaper hotels and things like that, but some of the key dates, so if you want to be there for some of the big bands, or you want to be there for the lighting of the bonfire on Halloween night and stuff like that, the prices obviously go up, but it is on for a couple of days, so you can kind of mix and match. Mm-hmm. Or you could just do one night. I mean, that's priced for 2 nights there, but it's only like 45 minutes from Dublin, so for Dubliners, they might only want to do one night,
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of different options.
Okay. Now, another one, the Bram Stoker Festival. I'm quite familiar with it. Well, I'm familiar with it, but I've never actually attended it, because it's only down the road from where I live. And sometimes that happens when something's right in your doorstep, but you don't ever go to it. Tell me about this.
Well, listen, I was the same. I can't believe it's been going for 10. It's in Dublin, and it's been going for 10 years. And I didn't know Bram Stoker was born in Clontarf. Dublin City Council have loads of events planned. Theatre performances, there's walking tours, there's parades, lots of different things. And there's a fire spectacle in Dublin Castle every night. And then there's Dracula's Disco in the Mansion House for kids. So there's actually loads going on, and most of them are free events. Now, they're ticketed, so you still have to actually book the tickets, but they're free. But you'll see all the different things going on. It's actually not on Halloween night, but it's on from the 25th to the 28th of October. So it's on just basically over the bank holiday weekend. And I couldn't believe some of the prices in Dublin. This is what I think surprised me the most. The 5-star Radisson Hotel there. Now, I know obviously it's not in Dublin city centre, but it's a 5-star hotel, and it's like €70 per person for a couple, like €140 for a room in a 5-star hotel on the bank holiday Sunday. So even if you didn't want to go to the festival at all,
to copper
I mean, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, that is very cheap.
You hear people going on about Dublin hotel prices and everything, and I was like, €70 a head in a 5-star hotel on a bank holiday Sunday. So I just thought that was a steal. And then if you wanted to go to the festival, or you wanted to come to Dublin for the weekend, the best deal I found was in the Croke Park Hotel. I was in it, but it was for Coldplay. We went for a few drinks before Coldplay concert. It did look nice, but I haven't stayed in it. But you could do the Croke Park tour and lots of things. And then, of course, you're just down the road from Dublin City, of course, as well. Yeah. That's €360 for a family of 4 for 2 nights.
Okay.
So I thought it was kind of good value for a weekend in the capital on the bank over the bank holiday.
Now, there's a festival in Derry as well over Halloween.
Yeah, now I haven't been to this, but it's supposed to be, well, Derry claims it's the largest Halloween festival in Europe. And I do know a couple of people who've gone over the last few years, and it's supposed to be amazing. The whole city, it's a wall city, and it's all transformed. The festival is on for 4 days, from the 28th of October to the 31st. And they've got this massive Halloween parade on Halloween night with fire-breathing dragons and all sorts of things going on. Samba drums and a big fireworks display. And I believe it's fantastic. So that is definitely worth a visit, whether you're a family or a couple. Now, it's really hard to get family rooms in the hotels, but I did find a good price in the Best Western White Horse Hotel on the 28th of October. That's 130 for 2 sharing, so 65 per person. Now, it's not on Halloween night, but it's on during the festival. So again, I thought it was quite a good deal.
Okay, so that festival kicks off on the 28th, so there will be stuff happening,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Now, Sarah is with us from the travelexpert.ie, and we're taking a look at Halloween breaks. And as we mentioned earlier on, Sarah, not just for families, but for anybody who possibly gets off work around this time. The SNAs, the teachers, the school bus drivers, all the lollipop ladies, I'm sure, would love to have a breakaway. You found one there in Wexford.
I know, this is a brilliant deal, Trina. It's the Clayton White Hotel in Wexford, and they've got a spa break. Now, the spa break is actually on right through October, November and into December, so it's on it right throughout, but it's actually available, which I was really surprised at, over that midterm break. The 30th of October, it's €145 per person, but you get your overnight stay with breakfast, you get an hour access in the thermal suite, you also get a 30-minute treatment, so you can pick like a Swedish back massage or a facial or a body exfoliation or whatever you want, including that. I mean, you know yourself how much these treatments are. They're probably €80 a head or something anyway. You also get a cocktail for arrival. You get a discount voucher off if you want to dine there, €20 dining voucher. And then you've got your access to the leisure centre while you stay. They do also give like shopping discount vouchers because it's right in the centre of Wexford town. So I just think it's such a steal. I'm wondering, is it a mistake that it's still available that week? But anyway, I thought that was really
nothing.
Yeah.
What exactly is a thermal suite? An hour in the thermal suite?
You know, like a thermal suite where you'd have like a spa, or you'll have a sauna and a jacuzzi, and you might have like all these different kind of like have a routine. You go to 2 or 3, 4, you might go into the cold, the plunge pool, and then you might go into the sauna, then you might go into a salt bath, and then so it's usually like a thermal suite of all different things. You go on an hour circuit is the word I'm looking for, a circuit. So it'll have all those kind of things, and you've got an access. So the idea is you kind of go in, you do all that, then you get your treatment, and then maybe have your cocktail afterwards or before. I don't know.
I'm
but
assuming they have a pool,
deal.
do they? Do they have a pool?
Yeah. No, the fabulous leisure centre. The spa's really good. If you look at the reviews on TripAdvisor, everybody raves about the spa there. So it's just, and it's in Wexford town. So if you don't even want to drive, you can get the train down. It's a great deal at any time of year. I have a post on about that on my website specifically. So if you go onto the Clayton White website, you mightn't find it, but you'll see the details on my website anyway.
Okay, Clayton White's Wexford. Also, there are families who are going to want to get away as well, and you found a few Halloween family breaks.
Yeah, I just picked out a couple of deals. Midlands Park Hotel in Laois is a hotel I've stayed in myself. Really good 4-star, fabulous steakhouse if you like steak, and they have a lovely leisure centre as well. Their price is really good for a 2-night break. It's $345 for a family of 4, and you're also like, people, were saying what's there to do in Laois, or what things that actually really surprise you because of its location. Obviously, you've got activities close by anyway, but as well as that, you're only 45 minutes from Burr Castle. They're having a huge, big Halloween science silly camp for kids, and it's Ireland's tallest treehouse and playground and all that. You're also about the same distance from Castlecover Discovery Park in Kilkenny. So it's a really good base, for all around that area. There's loads to do, and people sometimes tend to forget. I always say the Midlands can be overlooked. People always look to go to the coast, but actually lots to do there, and I stay there myself. It's a lovely hotel.
I always wonder, Sarah, why all family breaks are for families of 4, 2 adults, 2 children. Do you know, when I'm a family of 3, what happens there?
Well, the 3 is grand. It's no problem getting changed into 3. I suppose I just priced them for 4 because the majority are 4. But there's loads of families of 5, and they can be hard to get the large family rooms. Now, I do have a post of 20 breaks on my website, And there are some for families of 5 as well. But for 3, you literally just go in and edit the link and you'll get. Now, to be fair, there probably isn't a huge difference between the price for 3 and for 4 because you're still going to have the same hotel room. Unless you were getting meals or something like that included, usually you'll probably pay the same price for 3. It's only when you go 5, people can get a bit screwed because you have to go for a larger room.
Yeah. It is hard for people, isn't it, with loads of kids trying to get away. It ends up being quite pricey.
Yeah, absolutely. And particularly those elusive 2-bedroom family rooms are like hen's teeth, particularly on midterm breaks and stuff like that. That's why I thought those decoy cottages were good, because they have 2, 3 and 4 bedroom. But now they're pricey because the festival is on. But I have a few other ones on the website. I can't think offhand, but I definitely have a few for 5. Actually, one of the ones I have for 5 or 6 is in Mayo, the Brafey House Resort, another place I stayed in many years ago. It's in Castlebar, but very close to Westport and along the coast, all those amazing beaches in Mayo if you get the weather. And a 2-night break there for a family of 6 is $475. So that's not bad for 6 people. And that's the 30th of October. That's over Halloween break.
Also taking a look at Enniscrone, the Ocean Sands Hotel.
This is just amazing value. €288 for 2 nights for a family of 4 or 3 on the 29th of October. I just think it's a steal. You're right on the seafront. So for families who don't necessarily want any Halloween activities or any of that kind of nonsense, they just want nice beach walks and fresh air, that's a bargain for €288, I think.
And Cork as well.
Yeah, the Celtic Ross, the lovely foodie hotel down in Carberry. Everybody raves with the food there. And such a gorgeous part of the country, West Cork, near all the beaches and lots to do, Wild Atlantic Way. The 28th of October for 2 nights again. Now, I just picked 2 nights because I kind of think for families, usually, a lot of the time, particularly if you're driving, 3 hours, you're probably going to want to go for 2 nights. Obviously, if you're closer to home, you might just do an overnight. I love the overnight breaks, off in the morning, back in the evening. You feel like you've had 2 days away, but obviously you'd probably want to be picking places that are close by. But yeah, the Celtic Ross Hotel in Cork, 2-night break there is $362. Not a bad price for a really, really lovely location.
Okay, and then finally Belfast.
Yeah, Belfast tends to be overlooked a lot, particularly from families, and there's actually so much to do up there. People, you think of the Titanic and that's about it, but there's like the W5 Science Centre. You can go. I went actually indoor skydiving in Belfast with my kids, like a brilliant thing to do with teens. It's really good fun. You've also got that park with the Gruffalo Trail that's just outside Collins Glen. I couldn't think of the name of it. Just outside Belfast, about a half an hour drive maybe. And you've also the Alpine Coaster there. You've got zip lines there. So there's loads to do in Belfast for families. And it's one of those places that people just don't tend to think about.
I would say there's a lot of families, Sarah, going to Centre Parks this Halloween, where you probably can't get a place to stay there for love nor money. It's really popular, isn't it?
I think you nearly need to book that a year in advance, don't you, those?
I've never been, would you believe? You've been to Centre Parks, have you?
I did when it opened.
Yeah.
I did, like the first year, and we did the Christmas experience, and oh my God, it was just incredible. Really now, I highly would recommend it. My kids were a lot younger then. We just loved it. And I always kept saying I'd love to go back, but just haven't managed to get around to it. But, we were lucky at the time. Prices, I know, like if you go off peak, the prices aren't bad. Or if you do, sometimes I think the 4 days, the Monday to Friday is cheaper than the Friday to Monday. That's like people who have young kids and don't have to worry about school holidays and stuff like that. Yeah. Or if people, I think more and more people are taking kids out of school too.
Don't be saying that, Sarah. We can't be encouraging that kind of behaviour.
No, absolutely. No, not
but, well, hopefully I'll get there one day. Centre Park. I belong to this Facebook group, and everyone talks about it and what you can do and the tips and the advice and everything. And I'm like, why am I on this group? I've never been, but I'll definitely have to put that on my list of places to go. So Halloween trips there, if you're looking to get away, get a break, plenty of advice, and Sarah has all that stuff up on her own website as well, thetravelexpert.ie. Thanks, Sarah. We'll chat to you next week.
Thanks so much, Trina.
Travel Saturday with Sarah and Ed with Destination Cleveland, Ohio. World-class experiences without the world-class ego. Unapologetic, unstoppable, unafraid. With direct flights from Dublin to Cleveland. Learn more at thisiscleveland.com.